This is Sports Federation TV. Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, you've missed the first segment where we chatted to Caleb, an MMA fighter. Our partners on the show is the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation. One of its members is field hockey. We join in the studio by Robin Morgan, General Manager. Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. How
Good.
are you?
All good. Kurt Serfontein, the high performance man, you good?
Very good yourself.
All good, all good. Robin, Western Province hockey, as it's called, not field hockey. But just so people understand the difference between that this is field hockey, not ice hockey. Where and how do you play sport, in a general sense?
Where and how?
Yeah.
All over the place. All over the province. I mean, the trend of late is obviously that hockey's moved on to AstroTurf more than it used to be on grass. There is still a lot of hockey played at a junior level on grass. However, yeah, wherever there's a space, you can play hockey.
And hockey is primarily an outdoor activity?
Primarily, yes, but like I mentioned earlier, we have indoor hockey as well. As the name dictates, it is played indoors. But yeah, field hockey is all outdoors.
And the traditional season of hockey?
Traditional season?
Or how is hockey played? Is it now?
Standard, what we call our winter league, is played from April to September. However, there are not really seasons anymore with hockey because we roll from outdoor hockey into what we call fives. That is played generally in the summertime, so October, November, January, February. As well as indoor is played in our traditional summer months. So hockey is now all year round.
Which used to be a winter sport, Kurt?
Yeah,
in the old days.
In the old days, yes.
I mean, tell us a bit about some of your pedigree. You've come a long way in hockey. I mean, you started at high school and then you moved on to club, into the province team, into the SA team. How's the whole transition gone for you?
Well, yeah, you're taking me way back here now. But I think I'd probably want to start with unification in sport in hockey, per se, in 1993. And being a member of Central Hockey Club, which is still one of the community clubs in Cape Town. Getting involved as a provincial player there once again. And then transitioning from the playing side of things into coaching. I was fortunate enough to start coaching at provincial youth level way back in 1995, provincial under 13, worked my way through the ranks, got national schools appointments, and then just followed the ladder. I suppose cliched for me, but I did my time in the system, national under 21 sides and then national senior teams we are currently am at.
How do you manage at that level? I mean, you're away so often. How does everybody else around you cope? As one example of the trying times of the job.
Yeah, I know it takes I would say a special type of partner in my case. And the crazy thing is that when you chat to guys that are in the similar boat as yourself, you're always comparing notes, and whether you're Skyping the family when you're overseas on international tour, they understand these sort of things and this sort of dynamic. And I mean, everyone's different. It's always tough being away from the family, especially when you have a young family for quite long. But yeah, it's something you're passionate about, and you want to do your best.
And we'll come back to that high performance, but Robin, development is an integral part of what you do, which will feed into Kurt's system. What are you guys doing in terms of development at the moment?
I think we have a very active development program that runs all around the Western Cape. There's been so many developments in the past year. We have the traditional Central Hockey Club, as Kurt mentioned, is a community-based hockey club who do ongoing junior development, and I mean, we see those kids coming through the ranks into our provincial teams on an ongoing basis. Langa Hockey Club have positioned themselves in such a way now where they have their own AstroTurf, and their junior teams and players are also making our provincial teams. They're coming up, they men's first side at their club play in our Premier League. They really do well also as a community-based club.
And huge on social media.
Oh yes, probably the best out of all our clubs, strangely enough. And besides them, we have a Khayelitsha Community Hockey Club, a fantastic lady that runs the project called Gloria Bartman. Also, junior started as a junior program, under 13, under 15, under 17. They now have a senior team in our league who have gained promotion from our bottom league into the next division.
Nice.
And I foresee them also moving up the ranks as time goes on. There's ongoing development in Belhar. But if we go a little bit further abroad into the Western Cape, there's been an AstroTurf laid at Swartland High School in Malmesbury. So we branched out into the West Coast. And if we go to Eden, there's a new turf. Besides the one at York, there's a new turf at Oak Hill Primary.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's very exciting to see. Oh, and let me not forget, in the Overberg region, Hermanus High School have just got one. So you can rest assured that it'll grow in that area now as well. So very exciting times for development across the board within the Western Cape.
And how do schools fit into this whole program of development, or is it completely separate component of what you do?
Yes, it is, because they run alongside us, but also independent. So they run themselves. Schools only really can do their own hockey. Development-wise, they do what they can within their infrastructure.
Yep.
So that's where the senior federation have to come in and assist new schools in developing hockey. There's a program out in Kraaifontein. They've just laid a turf at Bernardino Heights, which is used for development hockey within a school infrastructure in that region, which is spearheaded by the Department of Cultural Affairs and Sport. There's great work going on there. Marty's Hockey Club have partnered up with them, and they do the coaching for about 8 primary schools in that region.
Nice.
Yeah, which is fantastic to see. So on a schools level, that's how we get involved. And then the schools just do their own development within their own schools.
Taking some of these youngsters and bringing them up into under 13, under 17, and into the senior ranks, how difficult is it for them to incorporate and work as a team?
Well, I think first of all, from a high performance perspective, the first thing about successful high performance is that you need to create a systematic pathway for these players. And only having been in the role now this is my 3rd year in this position. All these kids, first of all, I mean, it's about participation as the foundation. Then we'll look at talent identification. We'll move on to developing that talent. From there, progressing into elite development, and ultimately the goal is, like I say to our elite players in the provinces, but becoming a world-class athlete. That's what it's about. So these kids are identified most of the time via their provincial and zonal structures. And what we have now is that Western Province Hockey Union actually regulates and accredits youth high performance coaching academies and just ordinary performance academies. And we're fortunate enough that a lot of the coaches that are employed by these academies are all coaches that are involved in our provincial structures. Just recently, 2 weeks ago, I held a end of season high performance think tank, all the coaches in the provinces, where we share recommendations, because key to me in terms of high performance is that you need to keep evolving.
Yep.
And so it's about tightening up on the structures and bringing in new projects as well, to present the players with the best possible opportunity to develop and to maximize performance.
As the Western Cape, we are probably one of the biggest powerhouses that feeds into the national team.
Yeah.
What would you attribute that to?
I'm first and foremost going to say that I believe, or I know that better coaching leads to better players and better performance. And a massive passion of mine is high performance director, and a lot of people get it wrong. High performance is not specifically about just the athlete or the player. It is also about the coaches. And we've made a concerted effort to empower and develop more coaches. And in that way, we're going to be producing better players. And I think that is key. And that I could probably attribute to the number of national reps we have from this province.
But is that also attributed to the level of hockey we play at league and in the different structures and the different leagues that you have, Robin? How big is your league structure?
It's large. It is definitely the biggest in the country. I mean, we have on the men's side 8 divisions, on the ladies 7, and a masters division and a grand masters division. So yeah, it is huge. Our Premier League and our second division, which is called Grand Reserve, I mean, the strength of those 2 leagues, Premier League alone, I think we have to say that we draw a lot of our strength from our varsities. They do attract very strong players from around the country that come study here, and that adds to the strength of our league, definitely. Yeah, I think that's probably why.
Good. Let's take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Robin and Kurt. See you now. Welcome back to Sports Federation TV. We continue our discussion with hockey. We're joined by Robin and Kurt. Robin, in the intro you mentioned indoor hockey. Where is that played? How is it played?
Also played at various venues around the province. We do, with the indoor, have the challenge of a lack of enough venues to host the amount of players that want to play the sport. But UCT, Cape Peninsula, Technikon in town, the Belleville Velodrome, Sunningdale Sports Centre, there's various indoor facilities around the province where indoors played. Lots of schools have indoor halls that they play their indoor at. Yeah.
What's the rules? Similar to outdoor? How many players?
6 players, 5 field players and a goalkeeper. A maximum of 12 players in a squad. The rules differ quite substantially in that it is no aerial skills, so the ball may not lift during the game. Other than that, general hockey rules apply, obviously just within a smaller court. The court is flanked by boards, which you can play off. Yeah, it's a fast, exciting form of the game.
A normal ball, or is it a softer ball?
It's a smooth ball. It doesn't have dimples.
Yep.
But I
Same
think
texture.
Same texture, a bit lighter. Yeah.
Good. Some of those players obviously want to sharpen their skills in the off season.
Yeah.
Is that part of your big plan?
Definitely, and something that we're going to be instituting, because traditionally we have an off-season high-performance training program for our senior and under 21, under 17, under 15 players, and ultimately most of the players want to participate in all formats, but it's about managing them correctly from a sports scientific perspective. And the ideal for us is that we allow them to participate in all, but in various phases of the off-season high-performance program. So the indoor has great value in terms of close skill development and dealing with, getting the ball out of tight areas. This is why the Germans thrive on indoor, and they're that good technically. And the fives revolution, which is the catchphrase now from the International Hockey Federation, the value that it adds for me there is that there's no place to hide. So from an anaerobic base conditioning perspective, I think it ties in nicely with the way we want the players to peak at different times of the season and the way we manage them physically. So there's a place for all.
And the management of injuries, because I mean it's quite close. The potential is huge there for injuries. How do you manage that kind of process?
Yeah, so what we are looking to do right now is in terms of our player database from senior level all the way down to under 13, if possible, is track these players and keep a record of their medical history as well, and have bios, fitness trainers in there as well, where they're working close enough with one another, and we'll manage these players the way they need to be managed.
Is that part of your admin side to help this man manage things, Robin?
I'm pretty sure I'll get thrown into that administration when we get to that. But it's exciting that's on the cards. But obviously there's a cost involved with that, and that is what the challenge is for us. But we always get over these challenges.
Yep. What's in the near future for Western Province hockey and Western Cape hockey?
For us, on the horizon soon is an indoor interprovincial, which will be hosted at the Belleville Velodrome.
When is that?
That is the 13th to the 15th of October.
Okay.
It's always a very exciting event. There are 16 teams from around the country that will be here for that. And then
are those club teams or are those district?
Provincial teams.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in early December, we'll have the inaugural fives interprovincial. It's hosted in Johannesburg, but fives is, like Kurt mentioned, the new form of the game that's being thrown around. It's played outdoors.
On the same size field?
No.
Just checking. Sure. Imagine that.
It's on the side. If you think of a hockey field, it's a bit bigger than a quarter, but smaller than a half.
Okay.
It's got boards all the way around the field. So the ball is continually live. There's no out. So from an anaerobic perspective, like Kurt says, it's a huge challenge. But it's being played internationally from junior all the way up to masters, and it's also just a new form of the game to evolve, make it exciting, bring a new dimension in.
Because you need to keep it exciting for spectators. I mean, good. From a high performance point of view, where does Western Province hockey and SA hockey move from here?
I suppose if we're going to be frank about it, after the fallout of not being able to participate at the Rio Olympics and being part of that environment with the national ladies side, an exciting sort of introduction right now post Rio has been the Premier Hockey League, which commenced 2 weekends ago in Johannesburg. So just briefly about that, 6 male franchise teams and 6 female franchise sides, where coaches could actually, there was a live draft based on the IPL cricket.
Yes.
And players were quite excited about it, coaches as well. So basically strength versus strength as far as possible. And it is a step one of the first steps in terms of getting our top players in the country to play more competitive hockey at a higher level more often, because prior to this we only had the annual interprovincial. And from a national coaching perspective, you would get your top players together for national training camps very rarely.
Unless you're going away, then you have them.
Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always financially challenging. But we're really grateful for this opportunity now, and it also allows the national selectors an opportunity to view other talent that's coming through. And I think from a Western Cape, Western Province perspective, we're quite proud of the fact that we've got approximately 50 players from this province represented in that tournament. And then from a coaching staff perspective, we've probably got about 4 or 5 people involved as well, male and female.
Okay.
So, which is quite nice.
Which shows that the depth and experience lies within our boundaries. You can justify that most of the players who represent SA generally come from the Western Cape. Is that your experience in hockey?
Yeah, we've had a fair representation over the past couple of years, and I mean, right on our doorstep now, we have both our national under-21 sides participating in their respective under-21 junior World Cups. And if I take the men's under-21 team, for example, out of a team of 18 who will be going to India in December, we have 6 reps from Western Province, which is a third of the team, and that's quite impressive.
How do people find out more about Western Province hockey? What's your office details, Facebook, Twitter, all of those kinds of details, Robin?
The website would probably be the best. Newly renovated this year, it looks great. Lots of information, and all the office details are on there. So that's wphockey.org.za. We're on Twitter and Facebook, WP Hockey. Simple as that.
Your personal details, Kurt? Can people follow you as an icon in hockey?
No, I don't. National coaches don't do social media.
It's safer that way.
Guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for all effort that you put into making hockey a success in the Western Cape and South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll be chatting deep sea angling. See you now.